aligned souls. Today we are at Soul Talk. We're doing Soul Talk. I'm your host, Alena Chapman. My co-host, Melinda Ingle. And we're doing the Angel and the Instigator, of course. It's all about the choices we make in our life, right? So in relationships, well, I'm a medicine woman who deals with relationships. I'm also certified. I taught through the court system for a number of years in 3 counties on relationships. Yes, I really did. And I also have, but then the calling of being a medicine woman, I have integrated both because I see right now there is so much deficit in our relationships now. There really is, and it's getting worse and not better. It seems every generation it gets worse. It's not the generation's fault. It's a lot of combinations that are causing the relationship factor to really crumble.
Yeah.
And here we want to push relationships, but it really doesn't matter about love, right? Yeah. So, of course it matters about love. And so I've been looking at this and watching this, and I thought, we've got to pull this together. And with us, I think the Angel and the Instigator, it's very important because if our faults are going to show, it's going to show with the relationships we're in. That's the friendships, the love, even with ourselves.
Yeah.
Our jobs. Everything's a relationship, folks. Everything. You have a relationship with your pets. You have a relationship with your job. You have a relationship with your friends. You have your relationship with your neighbors. Everyone. And if you look at yourself, you kind of tweak it to whatever you go to. But the foundational stuff, the stuff that's deep inside of you, seeps out everywhere. And it either makes or breaks that relationship. It either makes it thrive or you sabotage it. Isn't that something? And guess who it begins with? You. It begins with
And they
you.
all take work in their own way.
Yeah, they do. But the thing is, it's awareness. And does it all come in one glump and you say, okay, I'm cured? Sorry. It's not that easy, right?
We wish.
It takes time and it takes working with someone. It really does. I worked with someone. I had a wonderful intuitive person who spent time with me and helped me through understanding what I was going through at that time with a horrible relationship. I always wanted to know why. When I leave, they always want to kill me. And so I was really trying to figure that out. And she really helped me a lot. And so that's part of how I went into certification. So it's very interesting, isn't it, how the life flows into directions you never even think you would be in, right?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
And everything was a chain reaction. But to just start to realize, starts to change your world and your relationships right away. And then every more that you unfold in time, and with experience, it starts to change it to better and better and better.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. We're really here for that. Now, well, what is our question for this week?
Okay, so our question is a little bit different this week.
Good.
It's not for advice. It's actually just a generic good question.
I like this person.
This person is anonymous.
Really?
Yes. And
Okay.
They said, I've been wondering how much do the relationships we grow up watching, like our parents or even our friends' parents, shape the way we do relationships now?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Isn't that
Children learn by example. Let me just say that.
Yeah, jackpot.
Yeah.
This is a jackpot question.
Yes.
All right. It has everything to do with it. Absolutely everything. Well, Melinda and I we were talking about this, and I was saying to myself, because I was starting to think, I was driving back in the car last night I had dinner with my son, and I'm driving back and I'm thinking, I have never seen in my growing up years a true loving relationship. Wait. I did see one. When I was, I think, 3, my Nona and my grandpa, they had a gem of a relationship. They showed each other so much love and kindness. And I remember they were in Sacramento, California, and I was in their place. I think they lived in a small house or an apartment. Being 3, you don't register those things very well. And I remember jumping up in my grandpa's lap because I loved being with him, and him talking to Luabelle, that was his wife. That was my Nona. And I remember the love there. That's the only, in all my years, that's the only moment in time I've ever seen. Isn't that amazing?
I haven't seen it for anyone else, but I've seen it for myself before, I think.
What do you mean you think?
Just my last baby, when she was born, her dad was very attentive, and it completely changed who he was at the time, and that was true love to me. That looked like true love, and it felt like it, but, good things never last sometimes.
Yeah, see, no, but
just
we get
moments
little
and
snapshots.
times, yeah.
We get tiny little snapshots, but we don't ever really see. I always used to say, when Snow White and all those fairy tales you used to watch as a kid, and I'd say it would come to the ever after, and I'd always say, what's the ever after?
Yeah, me too.
What is it? What are they doing after? How does it look? Where is it? Because I wasn't seeing it with my mom and dad.
And they haven't seen it either, which is why there aren't any.
Yeah. Marriages were used for not necessarily love. They were
necessity, absolutely.
and necessity, alliances, actually business alliances.
Looks.
Yep, looks, to be presentable, to hide what you truly are if you're not, because you couldn't be who you are in the world.
Right.
There are so many reasons why marriage took place. It's no wonder we haven't really seen true romantic, long-lasting love.
Yeah, agreed.
I see people who live a long time together. I don't see happiness. I don't see
I want to
peace.
try to be the angel for a minute.
You want to try to be the angel?
Yeah, because what I'm going to say is...
Go
I
for
think
it.
you're going to like...
I love this.
Okay, so I think we do kind of grow up to have relationships similar to the ones that we see. But I also think there's an opposite end to that where it's, okay, I know exactly how I don't want it to be. I know exactly what I don't want in a partner. I know exactly how I don't want someone to talk to me. Mm-hmm. I think we kind of see those things as well. Mm-hmm. The things that we need to stay away from. And a lot of us, for whatever reason, are like, oh, they remind me of my dad or my mom. And sometimes it's not the good traits. It's the bad ones. And it's like, how are you not seeing this?
Because that's what you faced every day.
Right.
But you still wanted the acceptance.
Right.
So you're trying to get the acceptance from another person who's like the dad. Psychology is so freaking weird.
It is.
And so you're trying, and this person just walks into your life and it's like your dad or whatever, or mother, whatever the case may be. And you are trying to, that's why they say your first love is always fixing something in the relationship. And I found that extremely interesting. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they say.
So your first love, what?
Is the getting the lesson out of the way that you need the most from your being.
Oh my God, that is the truest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, they say that, and but the thing is it's I can vouch for that.
I'm about to have a heart attack. I've never heard that, and now it makes so much sense. Yeah. So much sense.
I know.
I just had an epiphany, y'all.
You have? Of your first?
Yeah, it was the worst. It was terrible.
Because, it was like your father or mother.
Both of them combined, I'd say. Like, the two worst people on the planet.
And then you just put them all together in one person, and that's the person you
pretty
decided.
much. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
What did you come out of that with? Because you're supposed to learn something from that.
I used to be a really big pushover. I used to not say anything, and after I left him, I was completely different.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, some were good and some were bad.
Yeah, but it's cool that you actually
Oh yeah.
you stepped into yourself more.
And
That's
he's
very
still
good.
scared of me to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had Gail look at my kid's birth charts, and she wanted his as well. And she asked me, she said, "Does he believe in the paranormal?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, he's really scared of it because the religion he grew up in." And I said, "Yeah, he does." And she said, "You know, he still worries about you hexing him." And I'm like, "Good, because I do." I hope he worries until he is no longer breathing. I got too
She
good
tried
for a second.
so hard.
I flew too close
So
to the
hard.
sun.
Yeah. Too close to the sun. That's funny. Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? That's the whole thing. It is us learning, but it is. I've been seeing. I don't know. I really think that when we haven't seen what love is, really, and not just the fast, "Oh, I fell in love tonight," but the long-lasting, like hand-holding when you're 80, loving each other.
I think it's a spark, a chemistry.
But it takes care, just like anything.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're missing the part. We don't know the characteristics of what it is to care for that relationship. Now, and for this person, since we're doing this inquiry, all right, I'll bring myself into that. Maybe. I've learned that I have not seen love with any other relationships that I have been, except, like I said, my Nona and Grandpa for one day for 15 minutes. That's a lot to weigh against everything I haven't seen with everybody else. And I thought to myself, I wonder if a romantic relationship that lasts, I don't think I've really had for a length of time, like in a marriage or something. I have not had it. And what does that demand take from you? And what does that feel like, right? And I know, because I've helped so many others find that love. And I know that from my own life, and also I've helped so many to find, to mend relationships and to find new relationships. The one thing I have learned so strongly is that it's inside of you. It's all about, believe it or not, it's all about you. And even if you have not seen that true love feeling in people, I didn't even see it with my mom and dad. I sort of saw it. Yeah, I kind of guess I saw it, but it was still so hidden. Well, but I did see the alliance when my mom married her second husband. I saw that, and I always told her, I said, "Well, good thing you didn't meet Bob before Dad died, because this is your true soulmate right here." Right. And they were a kick together, and my mom was so happy. So yeah, I guess I did get some glimpses. Maybe that's why I can sense what it is. But in my own life, I have not had that. And is it their fault? But I can guarantee it's mine. Right? I can guarantee, yes, because it starts with me.
I don't think it's your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Well, that I haven't had something. I claim that one, You're a Butterfly, Elton John song, that was my song through high school and college. Fly Free, that was me. I mean, my whole life has been.
It's definitely you now, still.
Oh, thank you.
But that doesn't mean that you're not meant for a great love.
Oh, I know that. But also understanding the perimeters of that. But really, it really comes down to saying to yourself, all right, I don't know what that relationship looks like. And so I'm kind of learning as I go. I know what I don't want.
Right.
But I also am starting to get a good glimpse of what I do want. And then inside myself, I have to release. I'm releasing. For me, that little side of me that has served me so well, that strong, independent, know what you want, like I'm a very determined person. I like to have fun, but I'm a very determined person. And I'm a very independent person, and I value my aloneness. I value my time to do things. I value and when you're in my family, you're in it. That is kind of how I have led my personal life. Now, to let a romantic kind of love come in, I have to take a look at what some things that I've got to release a little bit. I'm always going to be strong. Mm-hmm. I'm always going to have a sense of independence. But can I give a little for the right person? Can I open up a little? Can I allow that person to come into my world? Letting that part of yourself go in a little bit to open up for something new. It's not like it's a horrible part of me. My independence has really, really served me very well through much of my life. However, I'm willing to give a little bit for the right person. I don't want to be smothered. I can't do that. But I know what I'm looking for. Yeah. Do you see? And when I feel that energy around me, then all of a sudden it'll start to fill my world. Right. But you got to give something up. And that's what we don't see with relationships. We've got it, and you're not giving up the secret parts of you. You're giving up old ways of being that were brought on because of the conditions of what you were living in that time. Okay? And yes, they have served you, but they don't have to let go. They can take a back seat. Right. I always say, take a back seat and let love come forward, or take a back seat and let wisdom come forward. That always has worked very well, because that is my stash, that if I need to be independent, I can be. I know I have it in me. If I need to be strong, I can. And it's not that I'm going to give up the strong. It's just that I'm going to soften a little, not be so quick to judge, right, when it comes to letting someone into my life. A lot of times we really want to fall in love with the process of falling in love. Yeah. Well, put that one out to rest. It's like looking at marriage books before you even have the groom. I never understood that philosophy. Yeah. It's like a visualization. I get that. But what are you going to bring in? You haven't done the work. You just want this guy. You just want the wedding. And I can tell you how many girlfriends who were getting what we used to call the MRS degree in college, and they got married, and their lives have not been so hot. Right. Because all they wanted was the guy. And that's all they were taught. Or another girl. That's all you could partner. Be. Would be a mother and a wife, and there's so many other things that you can be. Yeah. And this goes for every kind of love. It is not just heterosexual. It is also with, because if you are with a partner of the same sex, you're still going to have these issues, because it's you. It's you. It all starts with you. And can you change this? Yes. Is it steps? Yes. I mean, seriously, if you can get one person I knew, that their relationship was just falling apart, and their idea, and she had come from such anger in her family. I don't even know how they got together. But then he came from a fighting background. Yeah. So imagine anger and fighting. Oh my God, it was fireworks, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I got something in my eye. When she decided, I don't want to be angry anymore. And I want this relationship to thrive, or if it's not meant to be, to leave. But I want to give it a chance. And she let go of her anger. Good. She worked to let go of her anger, which that's what we did. It didn't take long. It never does. And then all of a sudden, she has a great marriage all of a sudden. Because then at first he was trying to pick at her to get her to fight because he's a fighter, but then he calmed down. And then before you know it, he's trying to go places with her, and they're going on, and they have great conversations now. I've seen marriages just turn around when you find yourself. You know, it really takes knowing yourself. It really takes going in to your sacredness, your inner self, and finding out what you want to be.
Yeah, putting the work in.
Putting the work in. What do you want to be? And those sides of you that some others might deem as a little rough, like that anger or that independence or that strength, you must think, okay, how am I going to bring this into a relationship? And that's the gift. That's the gift of looking within at that shadow work and saying, all right, I might not need it all the time. It can sit in the background. But then, gosh, that strength and that that strength will come if anything happens in the family. That's what held my family together, right? That's what helped my kids to grow up great. It was that strength. The independence comes when you find that your partner might be gone for a while and you've got to pull it together just on your own. So there's a lot of sides of you that you have to explore, and you've got to figure out if you got an overactive independence or strength where you're striking out at everything. Well, then we have to address that and we have to pull it back. Is there a love for everyone? Yes. Is there a soulmate for everyone? Yes. There's 2 or 3. But if you're in a place where you can't accept them, or you're in a place where you need because you do not feel that you're worthy of this relationship, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother topic, right? And then all of a sudden then you're just pushing this person so hard because you're trying to fill something within you that you never had from your mom and dad, you never had from friends.
Spoiler alert, it's not going to work.
It doesn't work. You smother the person. It always reminds me of that Christmas Carol's story where they had the abominable snowman that says, I will love him and I will squeeze him and he's killing this poor thing, right? That's the visual for you, folks. So if you are in that need place, again, you got to go inside.
Yeah.
You've got to heal that part of you that feels so insecure. You've got to be okay with being with yourself.
So yeah, we do, to answer the question, our relationships that we see and experience around us definitely form us in some way.
It forms our subconscious mind,
right,
that fills it with all this stuff that we have to kind of go through and say, but it gives us characteristics,
right,
and builds part of us. Those are the things we really have to address. And I didn't let you talk anymore. Do you agree with all of this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, I do.
Oh my God, I got on my rant. We didn't do an instigator thing.
I did a little bit.
You did a little bit. But it is really, it's an interesting topic. It's really, I do, that's what I do. I help you with getting rid of things, or not even getting rid of them. Sometimes it's not acknowledging that they're there and just saying, but I don't need you to react right away.
Right.
Give love a chance, give understanding a chance, give non-judgment a chance.
Yeah. It'll get you a lot further.
It will get you a lot further into developing what a good, healthy, give and take kind of relationship. That you don't feel insecure when the love isn't brimming over. You don't have to say, I love you every freaking minute. It's just felt. And where both of you are feeling secure in oneself, you know that person's in your corner, and you're in their corner.
Right.
And it's almost like having an incredible romantic best friend. Mm-hmm. And I do think in some ways, and that goes for any kind of relationship that's romantic. And I'm not just talking about heterosexual. I tend to be heterosexual, so that's my examples, but that's not what I mean. I think You know, I think everyone has that same kind of, well, we all have a mind that thinks in almost the same way as far as storing experiences. And because that's what we are, creatures that store. And so I really think, yeah, it goes for everyone. It's time. If you want a good soul, if you want to meet your soulmate, if you want that soulmate to thrive with you, then you have got to do the work yourself and draw in the right one. Because there are many soulmates well, not many, but there are soulmates for you. And you've got to do the work inside and decide what you want to be in that relationship. What a key. And that ushers in the right person. Yeah.
So I hope that helped.
Yeah, I hope was a wonderful discussion.
It was a good question, yes.
Guys, if you have questions like that and you want to be anonymous, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
we
all
don't
right.
mind.
And pretty soon, if this really grows, I really, really, really want to open this up to a live where we answer questions live. Wouldn't that be so cool?
That'd be great.
Yeah. So we'd love for you to subscribe. We'd love for you to send this out to your friends. Do people need to hear this? Oh my God, yes. That's why we're in the mess we are in. Nobody knows this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can find a lot of Alena's courses on our website, mysticalsoul.com.
Oh yeah, we got a cool test.
Yes, we
What's
do.
that test that we have?
It's
It's on relationships.
yeah, absolutely. It's like a love personality type test.
What's your love personality? Ooh.
I think. Don't get me mistaken. I'm taking it,
Take
but
a
it's
look.
been a few weeks.
Yeah, take it and find out your love style. That's basically what you're finding out. Ooh, that's a good little thing to put in your pocket to start.
And don't miss her TikTok lives. She goes lives and she does yes or no questions. And
would
we
love
accept
that, yeah.
donations and Venmo. So,
Yep, always. I'm going to start answering questions on the lives and TikTok. Okay?
Yes.
And yes. It's really funny when you start to awaken, guys. You start to see that you don't even need to have cards anymore.
Yeah.
Except for once in a blue moon. and it's really because you're so well grounded in yourself and your spirit.
Right.
That's how you want to live. All right. Hey, beautiful aligned souls, thank you for joining us today. We love you so much. Please do check out Mystical Soul and let us know what you think. We're here. And also ask your questions.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.